Everybody, for Tuesday night of July 5th, 2022. You are checking out an all-new Wrestling with the Topics. The beautiful and lovely Tammy Sanders here. How you guys doing, man? You guys had a fantastic weekend. I know there was a little bit of crazy bullshit that was going on this weekend as, my God, I mean, yeah.
Who didn't have a taste of it?
Yeah, but you know, I'm still thinking about my people in Chicago. That bullshit that went down with that stupid, trigger-happy freaking gunman. Mm-hmm. You know, that's what I'm thinking about right now.
Oh, I kind of knew what you were thinking about.
Yeah.
I just kind of had a little bit of something in D.C., a little bit of something in Chicago, a little bit of something in VA. So, yeah. A few people got a little bit of something.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
And not in a damn good way, man. It was really hard to... I don't know how it was for some people, but for me, it was a little hard to... Well, it's bad enough we're dealing with all this craziness that's going on right now, and you're trying to put a smile on your face and your loved ones and all that when it comes to these holidays, when it comes to these festivities. You're trying to get into the spirit of things despite all the bullshit that's been going on. But it seems just when you take a little bit of a small step forward, stupid shit like what went down yesterday just makes you go, Jesus Christ. Damn, I'm kind of embarrassed to be an American because going to some of these other countries, they don't have these issues that they're having, you know, with these fucking guns, man. And I mean, look, we'd be here all night if we just, Lord knows, knows, we've done so many shows. You guys have no idea, especially for our newer listeners. Shout out to you guys that's tuning in, Discord, Twitter, Facebook, and all that. But for newer listeners, not really familiar with this particular series, we have probably, as long as we've been doing this show, and we've been doing this show almost. Well, I won't say it's been that long, Chloe. But by the way, asshole alert. I want to let you guys know that no Xbox cord was harmed in the making of this live show. Okay. So wait a minute. Before I go any further, let's at least, before we get, you know, nice heavy on that serious tip. So if you weren't with us for last week's show at the end, so we're off the air. But even though we disconnected from everybody else, normally we talk for like an extra couple of minutes on the Discord, right? So main show's over. We're still live on Discord. Next thing you know, something just, Chloe, what you got there? What you got there, little buddy? You know, this little heifer. And I'm trying to, she's only 7 months old. She's only a kid. She's little. She's cute. This little heifer chewed the fuck out of my Xbox 360 cord, okay? Now, it's not sour grapes because, well, I haven't used the Xbox 360 in some years. I'm on my Xbox One. I'm trying to get the Xbox S or X, but my God, it's like a fucking magical white zebra unicorn at this point, right? Like, hey, I see it. Oh, fuck, it's gone. It's kind of one of those type of deals. So, yeah, she chewed the hell out of the fucking Xbox 360 cord. And I'll show you guys a picture in the chat. how that had looked. I was amazed that this little runt was able to just almost cleanly take care of this fucking cord. And I'm just, I said on the air, like repeatedly, I said, you evil fucker, you evil little motherfucker, you're evil. You're evil. So like, you just hear me saying it, kind of like, damn, is Lee having the touch of the Holy Spirits there? What the fuck is going on there? But yeah, she chewed the fuck out of that cord, and so now we know why she was relatively quiet for most of the show. That's because she was going to town on that damn bad boy.
She was definitely preoccupied.
Yeah. Yeah, preoccupied. That's a goddamn understatement. I'm trying to look for the cord. I don't see the cord now. And I thought, I'm pretty sure I didn't delete the cord. But yeah, if I could find it, I'll definitely post it in the Discord. But yeah, I'm like, you evil little fucking... So now I would imagine that as far as cords go, I'm probably going to have to buy this bad boy maybe on Amazon. See, that's where it gets kind of tricky because, and everybody knows this from the hard way, when it comes to Amazon, when it comes to eBay, yeah, the motherfucker might say Microsoft, but is it really? Is it really? Is it
or
really?
Is it Memorex?
That's what I'm saying. Is it really? Right? Because you could easily fall into that whole counterfeit bullshit. It's very easy. No different than, oh, yeah, you need Samsung. I don't know what accent I'm doing, so don't ask me. I'm just doing an accent. Yeah, you need Samsung cord, right? Samsung cord for your phone, for latest Samsung Android phone, yeah? Yeah, this cord, very good, very good, very good. Good cord, lasts long time. Next thing you know, you plug in your fucking phone, you go, I don't know, walk the fucking dog or go take the trash out, your damn house is on fire. And it all started from a bootleg fucking cord. True story.
That's true.
In the DMV, there was actually an incident that occurred a couple of weeks ago where a house caught on fire. And the reason why that house had caught fire was because the smoke detectors that were installed were bootleg batteries. The guy had a good, reputable name brand smoke detector, but the batteries that he had installed, this wasn't... What's the one that has the black cat on them? Is that called Everyday or some shit like that?
Black cat.
There's a battery chain, and their logo, it's a black cat. It's a cartoon image of a black cat. The only time you'll usually see those particular batteries is
Dollar store.
The ghetto. Shit like that. But Tomcat batteries, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, Tomcat.
Maybe I don't know. I'll say I don't know. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. But it's like it was a level lower than those batteries.
Jesus.
Right? So basically the fire chief, he said, hey, I know everybody wants to try to save some money and all that, but
don't do that.
Don't do that. You gotta fucking buy the real deal. But yeah, the house was on fire because of some fake ass batteries.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right. So just now take that same principle, take that same mindset and apply that to
the cord.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very easy to, wow, $12. That's a steal, right? And you're going, shit, I'm not going to pay $80 for some Xbox 360 cord. Pfft, yeah, suck my dick. I'm going to get this $10 cord right here. Ha, ha, ha. And then, yeah.
And then 3 months later, you'd be wondering why.
Yeah.
Sometimes it don't pay to go cheap.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. It really depends. I mean, you can get a good deal on some good stuff. See, that's brings me to a good point. That's why I have a golden rule. Whenever I'm shopping on Amazon or I'm shopping on eBay, I've been shopping on Amazon since, my God, right before I got out of high school, actually. Believe it or not. So I'm an old head when it comes to Amazon. And something that I've always done with Amazon and then as well on eBay, whether as a buyer or a seller, I always try to stay on top of the ratings and the reviews, right? And it's weird because I didn't go this route until maybe about 5 years ago. But I started looking at the most recent reviews, not so much the ratings, although I am making a mental note. I'm paying attention to the most recent reviews because I want to know, like if I'm going to buy something right now, just give me something off. I'm talking to everybody. Just give me something that comes to your mind, right? Just give me anything. First thing that comes to your mind. Just give me something. You too. You're included in this too. Okay. Everybody, give me something.
Couch.
Okay. So I'm on Amazon. I'm looking for a sofa. Maybe there's a particular sofa that I find and I go, yo, that actually looks pretty good. But then when I'm looking at the reviews, I like to look at the most recent reviews because if I'm looking at that furniture today, I want to know as of this month, what were people's experiences like? And I have a golden rule. If there wasn't anything weird going on, I would say within a 2, maybe 3 month time span, if everything was banging, everybody's going, yo, great experience. Yo, this shit was bomb. Yo, it was tight. Yo, I'm happy with my purchase. Yo, it's good. Yo, I recommend it. I'm going, okay, I'll go ahead. I'll bite. But if I see... I can get past one negative review within the month.
Yeah, that could just be a one-off.
Exactly.
Somebody not happy and they just want to take it out.
Exactly. And a lot of times when you read those reviews, it's kind of stupid because, sometimes you'll get a motherfucker that'll go, package wasn't delivered on my doorstep, 1 star.
Right, which basically has nothing to do with the product. It has something to do with outside services.
Right. Like okay, that's... And
it's like, okay, well, your review really doesn't count due to the fact you're not reviewing the product because they didn't leave it at your door, they left it on your sidewalk.
Now, see, PS5, I don't know.
Shit.
Steve said PS5 in the
PS5. Hey. You better make me pick that shit up.
Yeah. Seriously.
You ain't that is not being left on.
I ain't getting no PS. First of all, I ain't getting no PS5 from no third party seller. First of all, if I'm gonna get a fucking PS5 or an Xbox Series X or whatever the fuck, you better give the one time I will fuck with GameStop, because GameStop to go to hell for all I care. Shit customer service. Look, I got nothing personal against the employees of GameStop, especially because, oh my God, didn't even plan on talking about this. Welcome to Wrestling with the Topics. That's how the show works. Whatever comes to mind, right? But shout out to the GameStop employees, because I know the GameStop employees, for some it's, hey man, it's just a paycheck. I can use this to do what I need to do to get my school supplies or try to take care of my portion of the rent, my utilities, whatever, right? I ain't hating on them. But the business practices that upper management in them put on upon them, I mean, it's just fucking bullshit, right? And I remember when I had learned that the hard way, when I had tried to get a job with GameStop, my God, I'm 41, by the way. Somebody had asked in the chat, how old am I? I'm 41, by the way. I had tried to apply to a job with GameStop 20-something years ago. I had my resume all hooked up, right? And I remember when I had showed it to the first GameStop employee. It was a young dude, and he was much younger than me. He's like, wow. I'm like, what, is something wrong? No, it's just, I've never seen a resume like this before. It's so detailed and so it's a lot. I'm going, oh, like, I take it you've never done a resume before?
He's probably only worked one job.
That's probably the case, right? So he, gives my resume to the supervisor, and the supervisor looks at my resume, all that shit, and then he goes, okay, yeah, let's set you up for an interview. Yada, 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 yakety smackety. I can tell you right now what I'm looking for. I need somebody that can open and close. I'm basically looking for a store manager. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm your guy. Like, let's do it, What's up, right? It's like, okay, well, we'll set you up for the interview. We talk more about the position. Right. Go to the interview. I didn't lose track of the story, by the way. PS5. It all links. So, do the interview. Because you got to tell them that. Because, longtime listeners know by now, okay, he's telling a story, but it always connects. Newer listeners are going to be like, wait a minute, he's off the beaten path here. Newer listener, as you guys listen more and more, you guys will, okay, there's always a reasoning to the madness in the storytelling. So, I do the interview, right? And this guy is this manager, all he is doing is just talking about himself. He's talking about how he went on this trip, he went to this conference, he was able to go to this particular party, he went to this VIP event, all because of GameStop. He did this, he did that. Ain't I great? Don't I got a big dick, right? All of this fucking shit, okay? Not once did he flip the script to me and say, so I see according to your resume, blah, 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 yakety smackety, can you think of a time or can you think about how your skills from this job would benefit you in a position such as blah, blah, blah with GameStop? None of that fucking shit, right? This was a bald head white guy.
Never mind that you did or didn't have the qualifications for the job.
Oh, no.
Not that he would have known that because he was too busy talking about himself.
He was too busy talking about himself. He was too busy talking about himself, right?
Wow.
This was a white guy, interesting tattoos, right? Not that race matters, but it will in a second. So he says to me, okay, well, you know what? I can tell you that as far as GameStop, let me ask you, what do you think the number one thing is that we sell the most here? And I said to him, well, it's definitely not video games, not game consoles per se, but I would imagine the games themselves is probably what you're really selling the most, yeah? He's like, you're kind of right, but, we mainly are making our money off of used games, anything used. You want to try
the resale part of it.
Right. He's like, you always want to be, hey, if somebody comes in, they're looking for that new Madden game, hey, that's cool that they want to try to get, the joint and shrink wrap, but you want to try to sell them the used joint. Like, really? And then he breaks it all down, and then he goes into talking more about himself and how he did this and, generate sales. Right?
God.
So it ends with this dipshit telling me, okay, well, you're hired, and we can have you start next week. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, and this is for store manager? He's like, yeah, it's for store manager. I'm like, all right, man. If I could have fucking backflipped, I'd have fucking backflipped. I just remember shaking his hand, and I just was, thank you. I was like, I really appreciate this. So I go get breakfast at Burger King. And those of you that are familiar with the DMV, so at this point, I was living in Springfield, Virginia. I wasn't that far from the Springfield Mall. So if you guys frequented that area, the Springfield Mall that used to have a GameStop in there, that was exactly the GameStop. Because remember, there's two GameStops. You got one GameStop that was inside the Springfield Mall, and then right across the street, kind of over there, as you're going towards the border store, you had a GameStop that was out in the open that was part of a little strip that was right next door to, or somewhere in the same complex, I think, Bertucci's Pizzeria, right? Not Balducci's, Bertucci's Pizzeria joint. So I'm at the Springfield Mall joint, right? And I get Burger King for breakfast and all that, and person I was with at the time, I tell her the great news, and she's excited, all that. We do this great bon voyage party for the job that I was holding at that point. And I pulled a Dave Chappelle. I said, bye, bitch. I got a job elsewhere. Fuck y'all, right? And I'm like, bye. So the following week comes, I call him like, hey, it's me, Lee Sanders, and hey, just calling because I'm trying to get my schedule, like Lee Sanders, hang on, Lee Sanders, you sure you're supposed to be working here? I'm like, yeah, unless I was a victim to some type of a Ponzi scheme and there's no GameStop at that mall. Yeah, I'm supposed to be working there. Like, oh, okay. Okay, let me see something. Hang on. And so that motherfucker it turns out that motherfucker had hired somebody else, supposedly, and that he could not offer me the. Oh man, girl I was dating at the time, she grabbed the phone. Oh my gosh, she was hot. She grabbed the phone. She ain't curse him out, but she was like, okay, so, you do realize that, he did quit the other job because you told him that he was hired for store manager. It's like, and you give his position to somebody else without even
consulting him,
right, and letting him know, and like, how does that work?
Yeah.
And so he comes right back and he's like, oh yeah, sorry about that. And I'm like, yeah. Well, I do have need for a cashier, and it's
yeah, okay, at a much fucking lower pay rate and probably lower hours as well.
This pay rate, oh man, this was so long ago because we're talking over 20. I believe it was $4.95 an hour. And I remember homegirl said, she lied her ass off. She said, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm pregnant. That ain't going to do it. We can't do, I'm sorry. No,
can't do shit with that.
No, she said straight up, word for word, we can't do shit with $4.95 an hour. Mm-hmm. Click. And that was the end of that. And I later learned that that particular manager was racist. And the only reason why I knew that was because somehow I had came in contact with some other people that used to work for GameStop as well. And we all were swapping stories. And one person that actually did have an opportunity to work there, who was a minority, was talking about how this guy was always mistreating ethnics. But that when it came to his own, legend has it he was part of a brotherhood.
Oh my. So basically, so excuse me. So Honky came in and said, "Oh, let me apply for the job." Mm-hmm. And they said, "Well, yeah, okay, you got it."
Wouldn't it be funny if it kind of went something like, "Well, hell, man, I'd love to take this here damn job you want to give me, but boss, I don't know how to read." Well, I tell you what counts the most is that
you get the money right.
We stick together, right? Am I right or am I right? You just come on back here Monday and we'll take care of you. What about that black son of a bitch? Don't worry about him. I'll take care of him. We got to stick together. It's almost reminding me of the infamous SNL skit with Eddie Murphy, and he went undercover as a white man. It's just kind of, I wonder what would have happened if I just would have painted my face and all that white, and I would have just went in there. I do say, good man, would you happen to be hiring, as I sure would love to work. I'm very hard at working, I'm most curious what would have happened with that. But, so, context, full circle, fuck GameStop. But, in this particular case, a PS5 or an Xbox Series S or X, I would definitely, I have to physically get that motherfucker from either a GameStop or from a Best Buy and let me tell you something, GameStop, the way I do GameStop these days, I just go, I dodge you all like the plague. Seriously, my heart breaks for anybody that works at GameStop because it's like, my God, you poor soul. The shit that you have to go through on a daily basis, to the point of what fucking Steve had said. He said, "Oh yeah, upper management of GameStop gets tons of shit like that." He's part of the good old boys. Yeah. Just the good old boys. Yeah. I dodged them like the plague, though, man. I can't fucking stand fucking GameStop, man. Seriously. Because it's like...
It's shocking they're still in business with operating practices like that.
There's good people, but the management is what really just fucks the whole... it's like... And these... See, there used to be a time... God. Man, I'm going old school here, because I still remember... EB Games shit.
Oh yeah, EB Games.
Yeah, man. Oh my God, there used to be a time where I would be so mad at the service I would get from GameStop. I would just, man, fuck these people. Let's go to EB. And EB, man, the customer service, everything was banging. Everything was banging. People knew their shit. So insightful, all that. These days, it's like, dude, you supposed to be making a sale. If you got a motherfucker that's inquiring about something, you ain't supposed to say, oh no. Like, motherfucker, the way these games cost now, they're like, what, $80 now? Yeah. You better fucking know you're letting $80 walk out the fucking, you better know something.
Have you actually paid attention to the way customer service is now?
Of course.
It's non-existent.
Yeah.
So pretty much, I'll answer your question, but if you want me to do more than that, fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's basically it. Yeah, to Maurice's point, EB games turned into yeah, that's exactly what happened over here too. Like I'd be shocked to hear there were still EB games running around because
the ones that were here, I haven't seen
all
years.
them bitches, as far as I know, had turned to GameStops. They had turned to GameStop. Yep. So, something like that. You just because the porch pirating is getting. Terrible. It's gotten terrible. Right down to the point. You even got motherfuckers that are. This is what's really heartbreaking. Is you got motherfuckers that are using their own kids to run up to these random strangers' doorsteps
so they can run faster.
Yeah,
and get away with things faster.
Oh, and you know what they're now doing? What they're now doing? Shout out to everybody. Be on your P's and Q's about this now. Now what they're doing with the kids. They're having the kids pretend to be a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout.
Oh, wow.
With the little order form, all that shit. Get the cookies, all that shit, right? I represent the National American Boys that needs to do something on weekends instead of being in the house all day. Would you like to buy some cookies?
Actually, boys is popcorn. Girls is cookies.
Whatever, right? Popcorn, like food, man. It's just food. That's all I know. It's food. God damn it, food. So, see, I'm gonna do that joke like I said. It's all food, but it all comes out the same way at the other end, don't it? Nice and brown.
Goodness gracious.
Anyway. Really, right. So they had the fake me out order form, all that shit.
Wow.
And it's heartbreaking, right? Because some of the people that's been scammed, they're going, well, shit. If the kid just would have told me, what they needed it for, I would have fucking gave it to them. It's not every day I have a kid come knock on my door. I thought I was doing something good for my local neighborhood and all that. I didn't know it was basically the help their fucking pockets, their parents or whatever. Now more than ever, parents are pimping out their kids like a motherfucker for that type of shit. If they're not pimping out their kids doing that shit, they're pimping out their kids. Next time, keep your eyes peeled. Go to your local grocery store, Walmart, whatever. Motherfuckers be in the parking lot pimping their kids and shit, holding up a sign, right? Making their kid hold the sign, please feed me. I haven't eaten today. And you kind of like, now a good responsible adult would go, okay, this kid is holding a sign talking about they haven't eaten today. Oh, and that must be the parent.
Anybody got this number for Child Protective Services?
That's what I'm saying. If you ain't ate today, right? If you ain't eat today and I'm looking at your ass at 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, and you talking about your little kid holding a sign, you ain't eat today, and I'm looking at your parent who's a roly-poly looking motherfucker. Like, okay, so what's going on? Are they basically eating your food, or I need to know what's going on?
They better have the kid be a little bit believable. I mean, they got to be a little on the skinny side, because if you got somebody with 2 cheeks that look like squirrels, you ain't gonna get shit.
You ain't gonna get shit. Well, so far, all the kids that I've been seeing that's been please won't you give me they've all been skinny.
Okay,
that's been the calling card. The kids are skinny. The parents are fat as fuck. So people, help me out here.
Wait, that reminds me. So remember that grocery store trip that we did that one time, and the mother was in a scooter, and the kid came up and asked if he could have something. And she asked him what did he do today to deserve to get that or eat that or do that?
Yeah. I vaguely remember that. I vaguely remember that. Yeah, guys, y'all gotta forgive me. I know it's not everybody, but I'll ask you, everybody in the chat, everybody, is it just us, or are you noticing more and more that when you go to the grocery store and shit like that, you see these adults that are just standing there looking at the cashier as their shit's being bagged, not lifting a finger, and if they want to go with the whole, well, shit, I'm paying for it, okay, whatever. But you got these kids that's next to them. I've seen as young as maybe 10 years old, as old as maybe 18, just standing there like they're watching some type of a fucking dissection of a frog or some shit, right? Like they're at Wimbledon and they gotta be silent, right? They're just, me and Tam say this all the time to each other, but we never said this publicly before. I am not bullshitting you guys. When I was growing up, if I did not help my parents bag the groceries, if I did not help that cashier bag the groceries, put it in the cart, I wasn't eating when I got home. So I learned very early on the importance of $1 and that, hey man, like, just because you see, we're getting this and we're able to get you, don't take it for fucking granted, right? Because you're gonna learn real quick as you get older. This is gonna have to be your responsibility, right?
But not only that, they're not teaching common courtesy. In reference to, yes, you are doing a service for me.
Yeah.
But dang, let me help you with that, or at least let me do my part and put the crap back in my cart.
Right.
Okay, yeah, you got a bagger or whatever have you. Okay, fine. But
it's just it's disheartening, especially when it's younger people that's doing it.
They're not teaching them right.
It's very disheartening, especially when it's younger people doing it to a older person, somebody that you're looking at and damn well, whoa, this person's at least in their 70s or up. Oh man, they got a hunch. Oh man, they seem like they got some type of disability,
struggling,
right? Oh man, I'm not gonna do them like that, let me go ahead and help them out, right? Tams will tell you practically every time we go to the store, unless I'm exhausted from work, she's picking me up or we're meeting up and we're both just coming off of work, very seldom will I not bag our own shit. And when I do bag, typically it's like, if I get a cashier, if it's a female, I'm kind of like, especially if it's a 90-pound looking, I know it's her job, but I'm kind of like, I got this. Like, just push it on down, hun. I got it. She's like, oh, and it makes their day when, because it's the act of kindness. It makes their fucking day.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just standing there, no hi, no how you doing, just none of that shit.
Oh, that doesn't even happen anymore.
No. Well, Joey Numbers, shout out to Joey. Joey was saying the other day he was at a fucking Walmart. Employees were on their fucking phone, smelled like fucking weed, and they were in the store.
Wow.
Yakking and all that fucking shit. So it's weird. It's weird seeing how some of these kids are running around here today, man. And yeah, I would love to tell them to get a fucking job. Seriously, be like, because they take it for granted.
Oh, there's so much that they take for granted. They take it for granted because it's been handed to them.
Here's typically their contribution. Oh, I got to make sure I get my new $25 card for Fortnite. That's their contribution. Mommy, mommy, hey, don't forget the Fortnite.
No, that's because of something they want and something that has been bought for them that they did nothing to earn it for.
It's fucking stupid, man. Seriously, it's fucking stupid. I don't think we had much more to say about the shit in Chicago because,
I mean,
it's what are we supposed to say? We're getting numb at this point, and we've been doing this show almost 10 years. Almost 10 years. I think we've done this show now for sure 6 years, but I think it's 7. And it seems like every fucking multiple times a year we have had. It's like we're numb. It's not that we don't care. We're numb.
Yeah. It's somewhere between a little something something to damn, why that just happened.
Yeah.
It's just really just disheartening that we're still continuing to have the same conversation the same way over and over and over again.
Well, I'll say this to Steve's point in the chat. I will touch upon this because this is something that we don't really talk about enough. And this isn't long-winded, people, because there's plenty of other fun stuff, fun, lighthearted topics that we can get into, have good laughs, good time, you know, and everything, right? Good vibes so far from everybody, right? But I will say this. This motherfucker that did the shooting a couple of years ago, cops were called to his house in 2019 because he had threatened to kill himself and kill/hurt, you know, whoever the fuck was in that household. Something about they had confiscated some knives or some shit like that, right? What I don't quite understand is when things escalate to a point where you're talking about
Offing yourself
and hurting somebody else. What I don't understand is why isn't there a fucking flag? And why, you know, look, I mean, maybe there is, and I just don't know about it. You know, this is kind of one of those.
The only other way that even makes sense is that there's some type of workaround that he did.
Because my whole thing is, okay, if you're trying to go into Joe Blow Guns show, right? If you're trying to go there to get a piece, right? Even if you haven't been arrested, just hypothetically speaking, okay? I haven't done my research on this, right? But so you guys can enlighten me. But I would just like to believe that, okay, no arrest record, okay, fine. But any incident reports, you know, is right. There should be something that can, oh, so apparently a couple of years ago, yeah, look, I see in 2019 this had happened, and sorry, but in order to get a piece, you know, you got to be at least... You have to be
without incident.
Right, you got to be without an incident for at least 5, 7, 8 years, right? Some bullshit like that.
Yep.
So I'm trying to understand, you know...
I mean,
once again,
for God's sake, the cops were called.
Right. Once again, this brings up the, okay, why is this loophole allowed to continue? Why can't we plug this loophole already?
Which they've been saying they've been trying to either done or trying to do for at least the last 3 years.
Right. That's the only thing that just kind of makes me go, what the fuck? Because if all the signs are there, shout out to my people in New York. There was a story I had read last week. Once in a blue moon, I'll read the New York Post. And on the splash page, those of you that, you know, you don't have to be in New York, but maybe you see the New York Post sometimes. New York Post, New York Times. Maybe you see them sometimes at the grocery store or whatever. On the front cover, there was this story about this woman that, stay with me now, because it's all related. There's this woman that was a victim of domestic abuse some years ago. And she gave birth to this dude's kid, and she tried to do her best to keep the shit under wraps and everything, but eventually he found out. Think that episode of FBI Most Wanted that we watched some months back. Yeah, right? It was almost kind of one of those type of deals, right? Long story short, she did her part. She called the police. Everything got documented. All that shit. This son of a bitch somehow was able to obtain the information of which hospital she was staying at, when she got discharged. Motherfucker knew the shelter that she was staying at, all that. Killed her ass with a weapon. I'm pretty sure he lit her ass up. While he pretty much assassinated her ass while she was out, baby in a stroller, right? So you've already got the track record, to my point. You've already got the track record of, hey, this is one bad hombre. We need to make sure that this motherfucker cannot, right? And I don't want to hear anything about ghost guns, because we're not talking about ghost guns. That's an entirely different subject. Right. That's a whole other alley. But you're going, damn, this girl did her part right, and she still ended up dead. So again, it brings me back to the point. I don't understand why we can't fucking plug loopholes, right? Again, you know, and I think there should be a totality of things. I think, you know, it's a sticky situation. I would admit that it's very sticky because, man, you know, that one incident. But at the same time, when we're talking about, yo, you threatened to take your life and then other people, nah, man, you need to be fucking flagged. Fuck that shit. You just need to be flagged altogether. So I don't know, man. I don't want to dig any more deep into that shit. But my mind on that, it's just because I'm quite sure if I were to really, and I'll tell you what I'll do. If you guys want, I will gladly research all of that, see exactly what's going on. Is something like that already in place or what? But it just seems like every fucking time you turn around,
there's too many times and too many instances where people who've needed the help try to get the help, and unfortunately either loopholes or just things within the system that aren't completely, you know, start to finish together.
Yeah.
That people have either gotten hurt or killed because of those same things that were meant to protect them.
Right.
But, you know, it's a revolving circle.
It is. I don't know. It is what it is. What's that about barbecue? I saw somebody say something about barbecue there. Take that. KC and Memphis 2021's best barbecue cities in America. Well,
Memphis has some good barbecue.
She knows her
I
Memphis.
will tell you, it's the best barbecue I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah.
And the fact that I still remember it 20 years later.
Look, not for nothing, but here in the DMV got some good ass barbecue.
Oh yeah, we actually
got some good ass barbecue as well.
This is where we went the other day.
I'm curious where these cities rank. Let's see here. Okay, let me just read. Oh, there's just 11 total? Okay, let's go through this here. Here's the city rankings. And who is this according to, first of all? Who is this according to? These cities, there are cities that cook barbecue and there are barbecue cities. The difference is the latter will make you produce meat sweat after eating. Yeah. To separate it, Lawn Starter. Okay, so my question is, who is Lawn Starter? First of all, I've never heard of Lawn Starter. So who is Lawn Starter? Lawn Starter, affordable lawn care services at the click of a button. So let me see if I got this straight now. So according to people that offer lawn care services, if I need my shit mowed or if I need leaves removed or some shit like that, these motherfuckers are trying to tell me and everybody listening the top cities for barbecue. My friend, you're automatically disqualified. I'm not going to even continue to read that shit. Hey, get the fuck out of here. Come on, man. That's like saying, I am here to present to you the best movies of 2022. Oh, so far. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was about to say, because, 2022 isn't done yet. Yeah. The best movies of 2022 so far. Okay, I'll bite in. Who are you? My name's Bill. Oh, okay, Bill. And what do you do for a living, Bill? Well, I do a couple of things, but I'm a plumber. Oh, okay. So, do you see a lot of movies every single time you get a paycheck or something? Do you write it? No. So these movies that you're...
Just the ones I wanted to see.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Whew. We're on a roll tonight, folks. We're on a roll tonight. Oh, God. Lawn Starter had ranked the cities.
Maybe they go moving across the country.
Oh, God. Lawn starter. Affordable lawn care. I mean, as soon as you land on their fucking site, affordable lawn care services at the click of a button, and you're going,
Has nothing to do with barbecue.
Lawn starter has been. Wait a minute. No, go back. Don't. No, go back. Oh, see, he ain't trying to. See, look at this. The crew that does my lawn is friendly, professional, and efficient. Right? Lawn Starter has been phenomenal with their communication with the whole 8 months we've been using them. Yeah, okay. Yeah, disqualified. Bill, see yourself out. You know what? Let's read it for shits and giggles. Let's just read the list. It's 11 cities. Let's read it for shits and giggles. They're still disqualified, right? Because I'm going to trust Pew Research. I'm going to trust... who else is out there? I'm definitely gonna trust the people from the Food Network and, you know, Chef Ramsay and all those motherfuckers. I'll trust Guy Fieri and you know, I'll trust them. But let's see if we agree with this here. All right, they're number one. St. Louis.
Okay.
You got an issue with that?
I'll be honest with you, I've never been to St. Louis, nor had the barbecue.
So you're neutral. Kansas City.
Same. Never been, never had.
Chicago's at number 3. I am a Chicago native. I can vouch for Chicago barbecue. I think they're a 1, but you want to put them at 3. Okay. Springfield, Missouri.
Same.
Orlando, Florida.
Same.
Interesting. I've never thought of...
No.
When it comes to barbecue, I never thought of Florida for barbecue. That's interesting.
That makes 2 of us.
Overland Park. Looks like... what the fuck is that?
Never heard of it.
Kansas City. KS.
Okay.
Austin, Texas. Why is Texas so low on this list?
You would think they'd be a lot higher.
Yeah. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Tennessee? Come on now. Why are they at the...
Well, I wouldn't know about Chattanooga.
Houston, Texas.
Same. I wouldn't know about that.
Little Rock, Arkansas. I've never thought of barbecue when I think of Arkansas.
Same.
There's a few things I think about. Off the break, Bill Clinton. Interesting. So those are your 11 cities according to...
So pretty much in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Is where, according to them, their best barbecue is.
Okay.
So, North Carolina, certain
What
other
about
parts
North Carolina? Yeah. What about South Carolina? Yeah.
I've heard that they have some damn good barbecue.
A little bit of biasism going on in there.
Oh, wait a minute. They had Florida, so they at least have somebody on the East Coast.
Yeah. Well, Florida is a bizarro world anyway, so...
Yeah. You kind of get a little of everything.
Okay, so let's put you on the spot now. I want to shut up for a little bit. I want to listen to you while interacting with the listeners in the Discord and everything. Last we left off, you mentioned how you were going to see this new Tom Hanks movie on Elvis Presley that's titled Elvis. So, set it up for us. And the cast, by the way, for this movie, Austin Butler apparently had a recurring role on the CW's Life Unexpected. He was also on Switched at Birth. Apparently, he really came to stardom doing the Carrie Diaries and the Shannara Chronicles. He made his Broadway debut a couple of years ago in the revival of The Iceman Cometh. And he also played Tex Watson in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So, 30-year-old actor. Again, his name's Austin Butler. This was the one that played Elvis, lead role. Tom Hanks, had played Colonel Parker. And rounding out the rest of the cast, Olivia DeJonge as Priscilla Presley. For those of you that guys, I know some of these names you're probably going, don't really. She was Ellie in Netflix's The Society. Looks like she also did something on ABC One's Hiding? Yeah, Hiding. What's the rest of this cast here? What's going on with the rest of this cast? Rounding it off, Helen Thompson as Gladys Presley, Richard Roxburgh as Vernon Presley, Elvis's father. Oh, you even had Kelvin Harrison Jr. as B.B. King, apparently. So I'll pause there, but those are just just some of the ones off the top, just the top. Yeah. So go ahead, take it away. I'm gonna shut up for a bit.
So, I actually have been a longtime Elvis fan since I was probably a little girl. I was very on the fence on whether I was going to see it. I mean, you know, it's all over my Facebook page and so on and so forth. And I was like, well, I wonder if I will. And I just kept seeing, you know, video after video about the humbleness of the actor who portrayed Elvis. Like, well, then I heard, you know, some other firsthand accounts from the daughter, from the wife, which the daughter is Lisa Marie. Obviously, the ex-wife is Priscilla. I was like, well, okay, you know what? I think I will. So, went to see it. The way they did it was a somewhat fresh take on something that's been done before. To things that, if you had read some of the books, you might know from bits and pieces, but not widely publicized about his life. So it was very refreshing. I really enjoyed Austin Butler's performance, which actually for me made the movie. Obviously, I mean, yes, he's a lead role. Okay. But also, strong second was B.B. King, or the actor who portrayed B.B. King. So, Austin Butler, now this is preparation, guys. Austin Butler did not see his family, was in character for not 1, 2 years. In character, his vocals are in the early years of Elvis, because the 1950s songs are on something called acetate. Apparently, it's now just mono. That's all you get. You don't get stereo. You don't get 3D. You don't get any of that. So it had to be him. And I didn't know that when I saw the movie. I really thought it was kind of like, oh, well, damn, that's a pretty nice rendition. You know, pretty close. Didn't know it was him. Wow. So, but 2 years, I mean, really, 2 years of not seeing your family and really, truly living the character. And taking the fresh approach of stripping down all the hoopla of the person, you know, of what you hear, whatever, but really getting into the essence of who that person is. So, and he did that very much so. And it was a very fresh take on that. I wasn't real thrilled about the mom. I thought they could have done a better choice. She was okay. Sorry, I don't remember her actual name. Dad was okay. I didn't mind Dad. Tom Hanks.
Helen Thompson had portrayed Elvis's mother.
Yeah.
Helen, hang on, I can help you out real quick. Apparently, Helen did a television show Bad Mothers, Stupid Man, Blue Heelers. She did the films A Man's Gotta Do and La Spagnolia. That doesn't really.
Yeah, I've never seen any of that.
I'm trying to see her face. Let me look at her face. Go ahead.
So for me, for her portrayal, it was okay. Don't get me wrong. It did what it needed to do.
They could.
She really didn't look a whole lot like his mother. The acting was okay. Don't get me wrong. Dad, the Vernon's character, the dad, the person who portrayed him, did a good job. Tom Hanks, what can we say?
Come on, let's talk about Tom Hanks. You've been talk about Tom Hanks now.
So that's what I was getting ready to do. So in reference to Tom Hanks' character, so the fresh take on this is basically, you hear a lot of the stories being told, you hear them being told by his family, his close friends, whatever have you, but you've never heard the story being told by his manager, which is Colonel Tom Parker, which is portrayed by, Lord have mercy, Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
So, it starts off by basically him telling the story. Him telling you kind of how he started to figure out, this person, I'm in this carnival and there's, I need one good act that will basically give me something called what they call a snow job, which is basically, I assume, making it rain money. Having people basically flock to see whatever you're putting on. So he finds, this young kid at this point, because one of the people so Colonel Tom Parker used to run a circus. That's what he did before Elvis. I don't know how much you want me to go into.
Don't go too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically that was what he did before he, decided on the sights of Elvis. So, finally sets his sights on Elvis, and he's kind of like, Elvis has no idea who this man is. So, and what ensues thereafter, I'm not going to go too much into that, but
now let me jump in. Because I think it's very important that we connect this to a more universal movie that everybody listening can relate to, assuming that a majority had saw it. Now, if you remember, before you saw this movie, I had said, I would be okay with this movie if they told it in the way that $1 Million Baby. And remember, $1 Million Baby by Clint Eastwood
was told by her manager.
Right. Yeah. Everything was told through the eyes of Morgan Freeman's character. Yep. I said that would be really good if they went in that direction with this Elvis movie. Mm-hmm. And you said,
and they did.
So you were saying earlier, there's a lot of different voices that are saying from their perspective. But is it mainly from the eyes of Parker?
Yes.
But there's other people that are from their vantage point.
From Elvis's vantage point.
And then
mainly it's Colonel Parker's vantage point. But obviously you have to give the vantage point of Elvis as he is the main star. But yes.
Now, your assessment, how did they arrive to the conclusion of this is how Colonel Parker was operating with Elvis? How did they arrive? I mean, obviously not everything is
documentation. Obviously you still have some of the family members and the Memphis Mafia that are still living.
Okay.
So you can go back into their accounts, of start to finish, what they saw. It's Colonel Parker's demons. They went into that. The reasoning behind some of the things that Elvis did under him. Mm. They went into that. Mm. So they really, yes, the overall general thing overall view of the movie. Yes, that was from Colonel Tom Parker. But in the secondary portion, it's the vantage point of Elvis in certain scenes.
So this guy, Austin, 2 years.
2 years.
He dedicates himself to being this character. Mm-hmm. He dedicates himself to being Elvis 24/7.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Doesn't spend time with his family, significant other.
Nope. And the funny thing is, this is actually really interesting. So I guess he was singing around the house, and Vanessa Hutchinson at one time was a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And she said, you really should play Elvis. And this has actually been in the works since 2014.
With him or?
Not with him.
Just the movie in general?
The idea. Wow. The idea of everything.
Okay.
Because Baz is the director and the kind of creative mind behind it. Mm-hmm. And
so talk more about Tom Hanks because look, we're so used to seeing Tom Hanks as these good-hearted fucking characters. So was in your own words, how would you describe this character? Because I'm sure most people that know the story, even if you are not a follower or listener of Elvis, everybody knows how much of a shady motherfucker this Colonel Parker was to Elvis. Okay, right down to the point. We talk about it. We talk about it all the time. But there were like certain projects that Elvis wanted to go and be a part of, and Colonel Parker just denied the fuck out of him and everything. So like, did Hanks do a good job in making you hate him?
No.
Not even despise him?
Maybe a despise.
So what? Was he coming off more as a sympathetic figure?
Yes.
Oh, I hate when they do that shit. He's supposed to be a villain.
A sympathetic figure trying to be someone you should hate. Yes, you're like, oh. Now, there was one scene in the movie. I don't know if it actually happened. And if it did, then that would make me despise him. But you know how some movies...
Over dramatic.
Yes.
Right. They got to kill time. They got
fluff.
Yeah.
But... in the overall view of what I know, I can see that being a consensus. So, yes, but that was only one time in a 2.5-hour movie.
Okay.
That you're like, this asshole.
Okay. Okay.
But for the most part, they made him come off more like, hey, I'm your friend. I got your back. And you know that, yeah, okay, he does, but you're a scoundrel, really, because, you have your own set of skeletons in your own closet that you don't want to reveal. So, we're in this together. You need me, versus let me do what's best for my client.
And, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of...
a reference to hating him?
Yeah.
No.
Because, just some of the movie roles that Elvis Presley was up for, but in some shape or form, Colonel Parker got involved. Just a short little list here. Cat on the Hot Tin Roof. Mm-hmm. The Defiant Ones. Mm-hmm. The Godfather.
Wow.
Elvis Presley was a big fan of Mario Puzo's novel, and he actually wanted to play the part of Tom Hagen.
Remind me who played that part?
Robert Duvall.
I don't think that would have worked.
I don't think so either. Midnight Cowboy.
That might have worked.
The Rainmaker.
A Star is Born.
Star is Born.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet Bird of Youth. Thunder Road.
Wow.
Valley of the Dolls. West Side Story. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Elvis actually wanted the main role.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So now this brings us.
Interesting.
So let's segue. Was this better than Elvis and Me, portrayed by? Because that's my number one, Dale Mitkiff.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody ever saw that one. It was a 4-part movie miniseries.
Mm-hmm. That you actually had to be in front of the TV to watch.
Yeah.
There was no TiVo back then.
Nah, not back then. Not back.
DVR,
Yeah.
nothing.
Hey. I remember where I was. I remember where I was when Roots, The Next Generation came on. I was
Sitting
watching
right
that
in front
shit
of the TV.
right in front of that bitch with my parents, man. You now come watch this. This is very important. Learn more about our people. I'm like, okay. And by the end of it, I was like, whoa. It was like, I want to go back and now watch the original Roots. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In different ways, it made me appreciate the take, but it did not surpass my number one,
which is Elvis and Me.
Mm-hmm.
That holds up, man. Nothing beats a fucking classic. Dale Mitkiff. Okay, so first of all, if anybody that doesn't know Dale Mitkiff, see, this is really pushing y'all's memory, right? Because we're kind of talking a little old school, kind of mixing and matching, right? Right. How many of you guys remember the network UPN? Right.
Oh, yes.
Now it's what my DC 20, my 20, my DC 20, some stupid shit like that, right?
Yep.
But back in the day, like in the early 90s, feels like it was maybe around 93, 94, they tried to do UPN. Mm-hmm. Remember, SmackDown was on UPN for a hot minute, right? It started pretty much on UPN, okay? So you had original TV shows that were on there. Mm-hmm. And one of the first shows that was on UPN was a show called Time Tracks. And Dale Mitkiff, as soon as you type in his name, you'll know the face. Mm-hmm. This guy had played the lead character of this series named Darian Lambert. Darian Lambert, basically, think Quantum Leap meets Sliders meets Jean-Claude Van Damme in Time Cop. And so basically, he went back to a particular time frame to retrieve escaped prisoners. And the way that he would send them back to the future, he had like this awesome set of fucking car keys. But it wasn't just any old car keys. It was basically a fucking Star Trek laser, if you will. And once he would find his fucking fugitive, he would always reveal himself because he would be undercover until it was the proper time. You got him in the right place. My name is Darian Lambert. I'm here to send you to the future. And then he would zap their ass and they would go right back to the future and shit. It was a badass fucking show. It was a badass fucking show. And he was the one that had played Elvis in that miniseries.
Mm-hmm. That was probably like 87 to 89.
If you know your Stephen King, not the new Pet Cemetery that's running around. One. The very first Pet Cemetery with my guy that played Herman Monster. Mm-hmm. I always forget his name. Car 54, where are you? I mean, that was probably
what, 91?
Oh my God. If I were to take a guess, and I'm usually pretty good. Shit, I would say, well, let me think, because the late 80s, that should have been Christine. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna say 1990. Mm-hmm. Hey,
that
Google.
Sounds about right.
Hey, Google. When did Stephen King's Pet Sematary movie come out? Oh my God.
United States of America, Pet Sematary came out on April 21st, 1989.
Oh, fuck. 1989. Okay. I started to say 89. I started to say 89. Okay.
So, because he looked still very recognizable, not recognizable as himself, but recognizable as the person who portrayed Elvis. Now, the funny thing is, a little bit of trivia, is actually Kurt Russell in 79 actually played Elvis in a movie. Biopic.
I vaguely remember that.
I don't, if I did see it, I don't remember it very much, but I would love to go back and see it just for his take on that. But and then, so yeah.
So bottom line, would you recommend this be something? Because I know everybody's mostly going to be going into the new Thor movie this week. But for those that's maybe not trying to do the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, if you're an Elvis fan, I would say see it.
Okay.
Because it is a very new take on the same story. And I truly enjoyed it. I learned some things I did not know.
Okay, and Tams is a encyclopedia when it comes to all things Elvis. So
not quite an encyclopedia, but I do know.
Damn close. You're definitely a Rain Man on Elvis.
Very funny, Rain Man. Very funny. But really special nod though. Like I said before, B.B. King, the actor that portrayed him, looks so much like him. Like. It's almost like a mirror image, and he did a fantastic job. Fantastic job.
And you're talking about Kelvin Harrison.
Yes.
Kelvin Harrison. He is known for small roles. 2013 films Ender's Game, 12 Years a Slave. He was also in the 2017 horror film It Comes at Night. He appeared in The High Note and The Trial of the Chicago 7. So, okay.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job.
Cool.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
But unfortunately, in reference to Tom Hanks' character, yeah, you kind of got he's a little bit of a schmuck, but not to where you hated him.
So basically, when it's all said and done, just to put a pretty little ribbon on it, because I know most people, oh shit, Tom Hanks, right? Mm-hmm. Basically, when it's all said and done, he is just still likable Tom Hanks. There was nothing. I definitely don't want to see the movie because I was hoping that he was gonna be just a person you would greatly despise and hate and all that shit. But I mean, if all he's basically gonna do is put on a fat rubber suit and and
be a little mean every now and then.
What do you think the odds are that before he hangs it up, that we'll see Tom Hanks in a role that? Because I'm just waiting for him to play a bad guy, much like Denzel. Remember, Denzel should have gotten the award for Malcolm X. He didn't get it. Mm-hmm. But then he becomes a bad guy in fucking Training Day
and wins it.
Right, he gets an award. Mm-hmm. He becomes a bad guy, Bumpy Johnson, in fucking, oh man, what was that fucking movie with him and Russell Crowe? Oh fuck. Come on, chat, help me out. Him and Russell Crowe. You can't, come on now. He played Bumpy Johnson. He was drinking his fucking coffee and man, he shot that motherfucker in broad daylight at the fucking restaurant. He played fucking
American Gangster?
Yeah. American Gangster. Thank you, Eddie. Yeah. He won an award for that one. Mm-hmm. Oh, but whenever he's doing a good character, he doesn't get an award. But when he plays so I'm looking at Tom Hanks and I'm going, God damn, dude, we've seen you play good guys, like, right down to the point. Now when we look at your white ass, you're fucking, you're fucking Mr. Rogers, because you're just so fucking, I just want to fucking hug you. When are you going to give us a movie where next time we see you walking down the street, we just want to punch you in the fucking face? Right? I mean, do you think it'll happen at some point for as long as we all have been watching Tom Hanks, or you think at this point it's not going to happen?
I think people would probably be watching how this is received and go from there. But I think he could pull it off given the right circumstances.
I just want to see. I'm kind of like Eddie. It would be nice to see him play just a despicable, just a hateful fucking, I don't know, man. Do a reboot of Schindler's List. Be the motherfucker that, make us, let us see you in some type of a blaxploitation film, and you just, those goddamn ninjas, like, oh, bravo, Oscar, just, I don't think it's gonna happen. He just kind of comes off like, wait a minute, pal. I got a reputation to maintain. Sorry, I'm not gonna do that, right?
Well, that could be very possible.
Yeah, I agree with Eddie. What do you think about the idea that Eddie said? He said Hank should have been a bad guy probably a decade ago.
Oh, yeah.
You think the ship maybe has kind of...
I think Eddie's probably really on target with that. I think he could have carried it out more a decade ago. Now, I think he's just same role or same character, same actor, different role.
Oh, so basically he's the female Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
Yeah. only he's more talented.
Right. And on a bigger scale.
It's like, I wish people would realize that, because like, it's like you guys do realize that, have watched Friends, that in regards to Jennifer Aniston, she's basically the same motherfucker from Friends. Like, no matter the fucking movie, she's the same fucking character, right down to the point. When was the last time you can recall her cutting her hair, doing something that just, whoa, I didn't even recognize her? It's like she has been the same fucking person.
So, did you used to watch when you were younger, obviously?
Yeah.
Days of Our Lives?
I was known to.
I mean,
I was known
okay,
to.
so you know Victor, right?
Yeah.
That's her father.
Oh. That explains the bad acting. That explains the bad acting. So she's a soap actress. That's what's going on with her.
Well, if she got her training from her daddy, I assume so.
That's what's going on. Learn something new there. Okay. I'll tell you guys something else that was kind of new that I learned. By the way, if you guys were following me on social media, some of you guys may not even be aware of this, but we almost had a health scare in the Sanders household. So let me I know I said it on Monday's show, but not everybody tunes in for Monday's show. So I'll try to, give the cliff notes and all that. But so Friday, I was on my way to work. I had decided to use public transportation, and I am looking at this African woman, and she's just coughing up a fucking storm. She just all that shit, right? Blowing mucus, all that. No mask on. Now we're outside waiting on the bus. I'm not thinking anything of it. Bus comes, and the bus driver's like, "Hey, just get on. You don't have to worry about the fare." So he opens up the front, opens up the back doors. I get on the bus from the back. She gets in on the front. I go grab a seat, kind of somewhat centered. Bitch sits right in front of me. I'm going, fuck. Now, this was the one time I did not have an N95 mask on. Instead, I had like a very thin...
mesh.
A thin black mesh that was over my face. Normally, though, I like to have a N95 right up under that, right? So I'm going, fuck. Delayed reaction. I'm not getting up. I don't know why, but normally when shit like that goes down, I instantly get up and I go move. I did not get up for like 10 minutes. Time I get up, it's pretty much time for me to get off the fucking bus anyway. So it's like, come on, you putz, what are you thinking? You're not thinking at all. And she just was continuing to hack and all that shit. So, get home, and then pretty much Friday night going into Saturday, Tams tells me, hey, my mom, she's back in town, but she's got to go in quarantine mode. She's going to be coming up here, and she's pretty much going to be in, doing the rest of her vacation with us because she got COVID. Like, what? Like, yeah, she's got COVID. Like, okay, well, we better start wiping shit down because we don't need to catch nothing, right? I wake up the next day, Saturday, I feel like total fucking shit. So I was supposed to work, couldn't work, obviously. So, I told my boss, I said, look, I don't feel comfortable going in. I think that I was exposed to someone with COVID-like symptoms. So I want to go on ahead, get myself checked out, make sure everything is good to go. Like, okay, we understand, feel better. So Tams is now concerned because it's like, okay, between moms and then what happened with me on Friday. So we both were able to get tested from our healthcare provider on Sunday. Sunday. And they pretty much were like, just give us 24 hours. You'll have your results. Like, okay, cool. And anybody that has gotten a COVID test, from your healthcare provider, right? Sometimes the over-the-counter ones, the do it at home, sometimes that can be faulty because there's been many instances, and it actually happened with our mother-in-law, or my mother-in-law, Tam's mom, where moms had took a at-home kit test. It said negative, but when she took the test from her healthcare provider, it was positive. And as it stands tonight, she tested herself again. This time, now it's working. Maybe she went with a different one, but she's still dealing with the COVID. So, the waiting game, the anticipation, you just, oh man, I hope it comes back negative. I hope it comes back, right? The one time you want a negative, right? Any other time a positive, I'm thinking about like pregnancy tests and, right, there's like, ooh, positive, yay, right? You're like, but for this one, you're like, negative, oh, please be negative, please. Get the results. Didn't even wait a full 24 hours. It must have been about 15 hours. Mm-hmm. And knock on wood, man, we're both in the clear. We dodged a bullet. We were very fortunate because shout out to Jason Solomon, because Solomon, I told you about Solomon. He got vaxxed. He got double boosted, and he got hit with the fucking COVID. He got hit with the COVID like 2 weeks ago, so he had to go into quarantine mode and all that shit. And it's like, and I was just kind of saying to myself, Jesus Christ, that would be so fucking, of all the ways to get COVID, because I'm thinking about, we did the Jericho cruise, we planes, we awesome
got
cons,
married.
We got married, right? Like, and we were able to dodge COVID like a motherfucker, right? And it's like, man, of all the ways to get COVID, either I bring us COVID from some African booty scratcher, or it basically goes down from your mom and to, not be in that position. Like, nope, you guys are good. It's like, because that quarantine ain't no joke. All right, so look, we have not seen moms. I usually go on a stretch not seeing her. But even for my liking, it's kind of like, I ain't sure what's going on there. She's still alive, it's kind of one of those deals. You're used to seeing her a couple of times a week. You probably ain't seen her in what, 2 weeks now? Yeah. We're literally it's like here's a typical conversation so far since the mom's been in quarantine. Hey, how's your mom? Good. Did she eat today? So it almost kind of feels like you're in prison, and it's like, hey, it's time to feed the prisoner. Like, hey, what do you want on your tombstone? Pepperoni and sausage. It's kind of like one of those type of deals. 4th of July was weird because I made my usual. Oh my God! So once again, you guys, I'm telling you straight up. Yeah. I'm telling you straight up, yo. And I know Joe's like, yeah, man, motherfuckers go crazy for it. That shit is good, my nigga. This shit is delicious. Them Wahlberg hot dogs. Jesus fucking Christ. Look, keep your eyes peeled. Yeah, I told Tam straight up. I said, yo, real talk. I don't give a fuck if any of them niggas is racist. Because, man, whatever be in them hot dogs, that racism never tasted so good. Okay? Okay? If they racist, hey, just take my money, man. Them hot dogs are good. All right? Seriously, other than Sabrat, them are some good-ass dogs. Because the highest compliment I can give for hot dogs is Sabrat. I inhale that shit. I love them. My second place would definitely have to be, who were the guys from Chicago? God damn it, I'm blanking. Vienna. Mm-hmm. I got to go with them. Mm-hmm. Jesus. Them dogs were good. They got them in 2 varieties from what I've seen so far. They got them in, standard regular size,
and jumbo.
Right, and then jumbo. Yep. I think I'm messing up the name of whatchamacall. But yeah, we took it easy. We had potato salad. We had those dogs. I hooked them up the way I normally would hook them up. I basically, had them on the grill and was doing the fucking barbecue. Barbecue. I'm just taking that little, what is it, a whisk? What is it, a paintbrush?
No,
I call it the paintbrush.
Yeah, pretty much.
I call it the fucking paintbrush. Just kept coating them, rotating them, coating them, rotating, coat, rotate. I just kept doing it like that. You made your deviled eggs.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Yeah, took it real fucking
We didn't
easy.
really watch the fireworks because, I had to get up early and, Lee did a show for y'all or, his post show. So, we just kind of took it easy.
That was kind of weird too, doing a post show. What was that? Saturday,
Saturday
yeah,
and
Saturday
then Monday.
And it was weird having a break on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But then
your normal show on Monday.
Right, and then it was kind of weird doing that because I was kind of I was not in the headspace. I was not in the headspace. By the way, shout out to those of you that have subscribed to the YouTube channel, man. I got to thank you guys because that was, I don't know what it was, but I don't know if somebody said something. Look, I don't know what it was. All I know is my black ass said, hey, yo, be a pal, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like, we're 30 away from 12,000 subs. Like, let's make it happen already. Smash the son of a bitch. And the next thing I know, like, droves. Like, it was awesome to see. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I was going in, I was seeing who all were subscribing, making sure, these are like actual accounts and actual people, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. All right, hey, cool. So last I checked, we're now at 12,014 subs. I'm going, okay, that's what's up. That's great. Like, okay, now let's keep going. Let's see if we can get 13,000 subs. So, right? That's like never settle. Just keep right on going, right? Always strive for better, I always say. Always strive for better.
Always.
Speaking of food, Tam's got me addicted now.
Oh.
So we went to CHOPT. I don't know if you guys have ever heard. It's basically a salad joint. So I don't remember the very first time I had it, but Tams was like, yo, you had this before. I'm like, sorry, I don't remember. So we go to CHOPT some days ago. I'm like, and so what, they make it in front of you? She's like, yeah, it's really cool how they do it. Just what do you want? Tams was treating. She's like, what do you want? I'm like, well, that right there, that shit, that looks good. Give me that. I don't remember what the fuck it was now. I just know that shit was delicious, right? Tams will tell you what the salad was, but it was cool, the whole process of them making the salad right in front of you. And then, if you ever wonder, well, why the fuck are they called chopped? It's because they chopped the shit in front of you, motherfucker. I'm like, okay, oh, cool, okay, right? But I was thinking, I'm going, why are they called chopped? And it ends in a T. I'm thinking, I don't get it. I don't understand. What's the deal? You're going salad. You're selling salad. What you call chopped? What? I don't understand. Like, oh, right? I'm going, okay. Or I'm going Edith Bunker. I'm having one of those moments. And that was some of the best fucking salad I ever had in my life. I mean, the freshness of the ingredients. You can taste every single fucking ingredient that's in there. And Maurice said he had to boot up his computer for whatever reason. He didn't hear the show. That's weird. That's weird. But it was you, right, Maurice? It was you. It wasn't us, right? You had the issue, right? Because as far as I know, everything's rocking and rolling. We're still streaming on the multiple outlets there. I got a computer story, too, after this. It's not long-winded, but sound card. I got to get some tips there. But, yeah, I had the CHOPT. And I'm addicted to it now. It's all I can think about. It's all I can think about. Seriously. That shit, it's amazing because you're used to certain, let's be honest. Some of us were used to, the same usual, right? Normally, I want a salad. Oh, let me go to Subway. it's kind of not fresh, and I think I tasted a tomato. I'm not really sure because it's bland as fuck, so I don't know. I think I had croutons in there. I hope I did, or maybe that was some cookies. I don't know, but
Some cookies.
yeah, right. Everything just from certain places it tastes so fucking bland, right? A McDonald's salad, right?
Which they don't sell anymore.
Which they don't apparently sell anymore. Gee, I wonder why. Could it be because your salads were shit? Right? Their salads were shit. The only time their salads were really good was if you basically had got the if you tried to get the ones that had the chicken meat in it, you know, if you right, but that's hit and miss.
True.
That's hit and miss.
True.
Right? Because it's got you thinking. Okay, well, for salads, who makes the best salads? Right? Don't say 7-Eleven because 7-Eleven, oof.
That's prepackaged anyway.
Ooh, and you're playing roulette.
True.
You're playing roulette with those fucking 7-Eleven. Anything 7-Eleven.
Anything 7-Eleven that's pre-prepared, you're playing roulette, unless it's the donuts.
Unless it's the donuts, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, though, I just love getting those big, beefy bites. I particularly love it when I can taste that extra little bit of dirt that was from somebody's shoe when they dropped it on the ground. Oh man, you haven't tried that? It's just the bomb.
No,
it's the bomb.
I really haven't and don't ever plan on it.
It's the bomb, man.
Oh, you mean you're not going to tell them about the pet project that you actually bought at 7-Eleven?
Oh, that pet project. Oh wow, this is how the show works, people. Whatever comes to mind. So, speaking of 7-Eleven. So many years ago, true story. Matter of fact, you tell the story. I know it's my story, my experience. You tell the story while I look up the fucking picture. And then I'll jump in. How about that? How about that? You tell the story.
So, Lee goes to this 7-Eleven, and I think it's downtown Silver Spring?
Correct.
Which, the funny part is, the 7-Eleven, first of all, is no longer there. Shock. But that was kind of...
They've been gone, I think. I'm pretty sure they were gone as of this year. I definitely recall seeing them sometime last year. So it was definitely recent that they disappeared.
It wasn't the quality, though, which is the sad part. It actually was COVID. So... just because of, the buildings in the area and not everybody's working, at their offices versus in home, whatever have you, right? All right. So, but funny enough, before I worked or I work where I worked now, he was in that area, right? All right. So he's coming home and he says, well, I'm kind of hungry. Want to get something to eat. He goes to the 7-Eleven. Hey, this looks pretty good. Yeah, I'll get that and this, that, and the third. Just something to go with it. Something to drink. So he gets home. And I actually was at work. And I just get this picture. I'm like, what the hell is that? And there is... the size of probably a baseball, maybe a little smaller than a baseball, a molded spot on the sandwich. I'm going, what is wrong with this picture? Now, it gets even better, guys, though. What was the date on it?
I think from 5-6 months ago or some shit like that.
So wait a minute. It was actually dated and it was 5 months old?
If I'm not mistaken. You can't make this shit up, people.
Wow. Damn, well, I guess they don't rotate.
No. Oh, they rotate all right. They rotate all right.
Well, yeah, but after you rotate, you're supposed to pull the products that are, expired and you know, they can use it to make penicillin. So, well, Lee's still looking up the pictures. You know, so I'm looking at this going, well, surely you're going to take it back, right? Oh, no, I'm not even going to be bothered. I'm like, yeah, I would have. But okay, that's you. I mean, he's like, so what am I going to do? Take it back to get something that's probably just as fresh?
Right, because at this point, because back then I was doing security over there in the area, and so what I would do once my shift was over, because I used to do a graveyard shift, so once I would be done with the graveyard shift, I would always go to the 7-Eleven or I would go to the McDonald's. And, you know, I would usually, you know, hit Tams up. I say, hey, I'm getting ready to, you know, head on over here. You want anything? And either she'd be like, yeah, you know, give me da-da-da. And I'll have that later after I get in from work. Or, no, I'm good, you know. So it'd be one or the other. It would either be the McDonald's that was over there or the 7-Eleven. And most of my time I would spend going to the 7-Eleven. So normally when I would go to the 7-Eleven, I would either get some type of a breakfast sandwich or found it. I would get either the breakfast sandwiches from them, you know, some orange juice or whatever. And that would be, you know, that would be it and everything. Yeah, this was, let's see, let me look at can you give me information on this picture as far as when it was uploaded or no? Yeah, there's no information. That sucks. Stinks. That sucks. Here it is.
But it's definitely been 6 or 7 years ago.
No, longer than that. You know, it was funny too
actually,
because
you know what? Yeah,
longer
it's
than
actually been probably 8 to 10.
Yeah, 8 to 10 years. 8 to 10 years at least. Get a look at that for you guys. Posting
Viewing
it in the
pleasure.
Discord. Yeah, there you go for your viewing pleasure. Yum. Dig into that. Doesn't that look delicious? Doesn't that look appetizing? Now I know some of you guys are probably saying, "Oh, that's just a little piece of paper." No, my friends, that's not paper. That is all mold. That whole area, that is all mold. And then I remember after the fact, I said to Taz, I said, damn, I should have kept that fucking sandwich. I could have had a fucking lawsuit on my hands. We could have got paid.
Yeah, that is what he said, guys.
We could have got paid. And I missed my fucking opportunity. I could have sued them sons of bitches for $1 million for pain, suffering, the traumatic
Medical
stress,
bills.
right? The traumatic stress that it put me under as I became malnourished for that day, you know. Cause
Oh no, it better be weeks that day. It better be weeks to months. You're so traumatized, you never want to pick up a meal again.
Yeah. When that happened at that 7-Eleven, I said never again. Never will I fucking do business. And I'm a man of my word. Tams will tell you, once I have been wronged by somebody or an institution or whatever, you know, once that thought is in my head, you are just on my shit list. That's it. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can do. You know, Tams will tell you, friendships, relationships with, you know, immediate family members of mine because once I've gotten that thought in my head that, I'm done with you. I don't want nothing to do with you. That's it.
The funny thing is, I've heard on really good authority that actually is the case in reference to the thought in the head, and there's no changing it.
Yeah. There's no. Tams knows. Yeah, she knows exactly who she heard that from.
Yeah.
She knows exactly who she heard that from. That's about the only goddamn thing that person got accurate about me. Because everything else, they've been wrong, and never man enough to admit when they're wrong. There's an interesting image that's floating around that I think Trez had shared it. I gotta chat with her. I haven't chatted with her in a good minute. It was a badass image too. I think I have it on the phone here, and it's interesting. Yeah, it's actually on my tablet here, and it took an image from The Godfather. Yes, it's on my tablet. I'm looking at it right now. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share it with you guys. And this is my mindset now. This is my mindset. So for our audio listeners that remember The Godfather, back that Michael recalls, where he's pretty much telling his family that he's going to be going into the military. But you never see Don Corleone. You never see him. They were supposed to get Marlon Brando for it, but he wanted this ridiculous amount of money.
And they said no.
They just said fuck it, right? So you had a great little flashback scene, and Al Pacino is sitting there having a laugh there with fucking Sonny, Duvall, just everybody, and the caption is excellent. So top image, you got all of those people with the caption of "when they need you," right? Okay, so when people need you, or something from you, whatever. Okay. And then right up under it, it's Michael all alone in the same room by himself, smoking a cigarette. It's in black and white, and it's got the caption, "when you need them." And I just found that to be so fucking poetic. Those sentiments. I couldn't relate to that shit anymore. Like that is my fucking mindset these days. She had a good quotation for that too. She said, hopefully she doesn't mind me, because it was out in the open. She doesn't have a locked account. She said, "Pay attention to your circle, as there are some who only keep you around when they need you or something from you, but disappear when you need them." God damn, if that ain't me to the T. There are some little inspirational quotes and all that shit I'll come across from time to time, and I'll just be like, motherfucker, I don't believe in astrology and all that other shit. What's your sign? Hitting that fucking song, Cancer. You remember that? Float, yes. Float on. My name's Larry. And I like a woman who's missing a few teeth. That's not how the song goes, but your old school music, you know exactly the song I'm talking about. Float, float, float on. It's like if you listen to the actual LP version, that song is like 11 minutes long, I think. Because they do like this long ass fucking instrumental. Like the first half is just an instrumental. Then they loop the son of a bitch, and then they go into the actual vocals for the shit and all that. Yeah, but I'm like, yo, like, me to the T. Like, so I don't be looking for inspirational quotes and shit these days. Normally, shit just lands in my lap. I could just be browsing online like I was tonight. I was just browsing on Twitter. I saw that. I was like, whoa. Like, goddamn, that fucking, yeah, man. I mean, that's some deep, like, yeah. I can relate to that, yeah. Who hasn't had that kind of position? It's like, damn, why is it every single time a motherfucker keep hitting me up, I bend over backwards, but then goddamn, when it's my time to get scratched, fool ain't nowhere to be found. Just saying, y'all want to read in between the lines on that one? Trust me.
Not a sermon, just a thought.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Cause look, I'm a grown ass man. If I got something, I'm gonna say. And if I need to say it, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna speak my piece, right? But I'm just telling you from my personal experience. It's like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
no, it's on point.
It's on point. How can you dispute that? I mean, that's me to the T. Like, nah, I ain't got time for that shit. You ain't got time for me? Well, shit, I ain't got time for you. Not everything's about money. Sometimes it's just about breaking bread.
Respect.
And respect, yes. Definitely respect. Man, if you ain't got that, fuck that. You ain't gonna go that far. That's for real. You ain't gonna go that far.
Give respect, get respect.
There you go. Let's see. I think that might be it. I mean, unless you guys got a couple of questions you want to shoot our way before we get ready to wrap it up here, I think we pretty much. Nah, we don't need to get into that one. There was one joint that we didn't touch, but something about, so when is it okay to talk politics?
In some circles, never.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah, and you know why I had that in there? Because I was reminded of a funny story. I'll tell the story real quick. So, if you listen to the show on demand and on the downloads enough, you know that I happen to be very fortunate to work with a lot of different sponsors, and nothing pleases me more than when I hear advertisers say to me, "Hey, man, thanks for working with me and doing the ad on your show. I was able to bring in some customers. You helped a ton." I've got people that have been working with me for years now. Okay. I love the whole advertising aspect of it. But I had the most peculiar conversation with somebody going into the 4th of July holiday. And it's political related. So this person hits me up and she goes, "Hey, Lee, I was referred to you. I understand that for, advertising, you could do voiceovers and all of that." And I'm thinking, okay, all right, so far so good. I'm reading this. I'm going, okay, so far so good. You're introducing yourself. Okay. Great. Who, what, okay. Where, why, right? You getting there. You're covering your 5 W's. All right, let's keep reading this. A couple of questions for you. Okay, questions. That's plural. That means more than one. Okay. Well, let's see what you got here. And she says to me, okay, so when you mention covering wrestling, entertainment, and beyond, do you talk politics? And if you do talk politics, what is your political affiliation? And when you do talk politics, do you lean a particular way when you're talking about... And I'm thinking to myself, God damn, these some compound fucking questions to be asking me about. And it's kind of like, okay, it's kind of obvious where you're kind of going with this. Because you're looking for a particular... I don't really feel comfortable going in that direction. I like money as much as the next person, but, if I tell somebody, and this is a true story, Tams will tell you, I had somebody that was willing to pay me a decent amount of money, triple digits money, to promote 4 more years of Old Orange Orangutan. And I just flat out, I ain't say no explanation. I ain't say the reason why. I said just flat out, N-O, no, thanks. Now, that should tell you, well, Lee's all right. Okay. Wait a minute. You turned down... I wouldn't... You stupid, Lee. Some of you may say that, like, hey, that's your opinion, but... Like, it's just, nah, right? I like money as much as the next person. But even I got a certain code, like, I ain't touching that shit. I ain't touching that shit. I wouldn't touch that shit for $1,000. I'm not, well, $1,000. $1,000, I mean, that's school materials right there. That's school book materials. That's a couple of classes. Talk to me off air. Talk to me off air. But, no, I'm not going to, a couple of $100. I'm not, no. Old Orange Orangutan. No, I'm not doing that. No. So then they brought up a question, when is it okay to talk politics? I just came away from that. That was my first thought. Like, when is it okay to talk politics? It feels like in this current climate, never.
Yeah. Because you don't know whose opinion meshes or doesn't mesh with yours.
Yeah.
And it's become a culture of ours to have it not be okay if someone's opinion is different than yours. And for someone to mock or make fun of the fact that your opinion is different.
I thought it was stupid over the years. I thought it was stupid hearing about friendships that ended over a game of Madden. But then, like, wait, a friendship ended over politics?
Families are divided over politics.
Yeah, it's just like
they don't talk to each other because of their affiliation and who they, you know, or you don't share the same opinion as I do. So, I'll talk to you, but it's very cordial and very monotone.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. I mean, it was bad. Like the last two primary elections.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just hateful all over the place.
To the point, I know I had told you guys about this a couple of weeks ago. I said I was going to try to see about becoming an election worker. And, so new update. I'm not doing it now for a couple of reasons. Number one, these new ads that's running around basically of election workers that had got harassed from the last primary election, getting death threats and all that other shit. Now, sure, you know, this ain't no primary election year, right? But, you know, to see shit like that, like, oh, damn, that's not cool. Point number two, which was the mad buzzkill, was the amount of money. Because, all right, so for those that didn't listen last week, so basically, I was going to be a provisional judge, pretty much from opening of the polls until closing. So we're talking at least 17 hours. One shift, 17 hours. Now, I said to you guys, what do you think would be a reasonable paycheck for doing 17 hours straight? Some of you guys were like, man, it's got to be at least 4 and up. Shit, some even said, nah, fuck, I want 6 and up, right? Anybody want to take a guess how much 17 hours was going to be? For
Mind you, you have to wait 6 weeks to get it.
Yes, you have to wait 6 weeks. Yes, so anybody that's ever thought about becoming an election worker, trying to pick up some, you know, extra dough, FYI, you ain't getting that money at the conclusion of that election shift. It's going to be 6 weeks. Check is in the mail. Literally, check is in the mail. Not no direct deposit, none of that bullshit. Anybody want to take a guess how much 17 hours was going to get a brother? Go ahead. I'll buy you guys that's listening some time to, you know, hop in there and post real quick. Go ahead, post your numbers. Post your numbers real quick. Take a guess. You guys are going to be stunned when you hear the amount. I'll buy you guys a little bit of time there. But yeah, when I had heard the amount, I said, yeah, you know what? I can pretty much make up this money just by doing what I'm doing with my advertising slots. And honestly, push come to shove, you know, work an extra shift or some shit, work an extra hour or whatever. Crimson, you were pretty damn close, my friend. $230 fucking dollars. $230 fucking dollars for 17 hours. Now, the way that they have that set up, $30 is supposed to go towards your training, right? So
really it's just $200.
Really it's $200. Yes. But see, here's how they get you. You gotta, in order to get this money, you gotta go get your training. This respective week, you got to go in for your 2-hour training, okay? And then you have to go in for the pre-warm-up. You got to go in the night before Election Day. Say, what? Yeah, we need you Monday night because we're going to basically do a dress rehearsal. Oh, okay. Am I being paid for? No. But you still need to do it. Okay, sure. All right. So what if I can't make Election Day? Well, then you don't get paid at all. Not even for my training? No. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, what if I show up on election day, but I didn't do the pre-show warm-up and I didn't do the training? You don't get the money. So I just basically gave you 17 hours for nothing. Correct. So I basically need to do all these stages in order to get my money. Correct. And it's going to be 6 weeks before I get my money. Correct. And that's for 17 hours. Correct. $230. Correct. $200 for election day. Correct. $30 for the training for 2 hours, but I got to do the pre-show warm-up. Correct. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you. That's all I gotta say. Fuck you. Ain't nobody got time for that.
$200. That, okay, maybe 5 hours. And that's even stretching it.
Yeah.
But 17?
Right.
Man.
Yeah.
Miss me with that.
I was ready for like $1,000. Yeah. Shit, I'm a reasonable man. I was honestly, I was ready. No bullshit. I was ready to hear 575. I was prepared for 575.
Feasible.
I was prepared for 575.
That would have been feasible for damn near 24 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, but not for no.
No.
And the funny thing is, so Lee basically said, "Hey, you know, you should do this. Yeah, you just never know. You should do this. You should do this." So I said, oh, "Okay, well, I'll fill it out." And I think Lee had told me about 24 hours before I had actually gotten the information that said, "Hey, we see that you're interested, and yes, you've been approved." And I'm like, yeah, no.
That shit said, nah, I heard about you fools. Hard pass.
Shit. I can make more money doing half of my day than they willing to pay me for a whole day.
Look, I could just imagine somebody that's doing Instacart or DoorDash saying, "Wait, that's all you gonna give me for that whole?"
Well, at least they stay in the same place.
Yeah, but true, and I mean you're thinking about the gas, price of gas these days, but
still, that's peanuts.
Yeah, so I mean,
it really is peanuts.
So my advice to you guys, because I know a lot of you guys, like, you know, this summer or, you know, fall, whatever. I know sometimes you guys like to try to look for odd jobs or whatever. Unless you're really, really pressed for money and you needed it, like, first of all, if you're in a position where you needed money like yesterday, or
don't do that.
That's the last thing you want to do, especially since you ain't gonna get nothing for 6 weeks. All right. If you in a position where, you know, hey, look, you know, financially I'm good. I just, you know, but I would like some extra cushion money, like right now, because there's some shit I'm trying to take care of. Then doing something like being an election worker, that's just it. That ain't gonna be for you. I can't recommend that. Not at those low ball prices. They're gonna have to do something. You know, there's a reason why. To the point, there's a reason why volunteer election workers has gone down these past few years, before even everything had went down with the insurrection and all that other shit. You know, and that's because when you're putting lowball fucking prices out there like that, you know, hey, I need somebody for a full day's work. Easy money to make. Oh, okay. Well,
how much you paying?
How much you paying? You know, $100, and that's for how many hours? That's
10.
Right. Wait, 8 hours for $100? So basically, you're paying me almost $10 an hour. Well, that's straight up cash. Yeah. Well, shit. Let's go. It almost reminds me of a time when I had did some volunteer work. I remember me and my friend, we were just kicking back chilling, and this person had said, "Hey, I need 2 strong young guys. Like, well, me and my friend are available. What's up?" "Oh, we just gotta get rid of a little bit of trash that's at this house." Like, "Oh, okay. What's up?" Like, "Yeah, well, I can give you you both $50. That's like not for us to share. That's 50 a head. Like, yeah, I'll give you both $50. Like, okay, all right, cool. when do we get this money? Do we get half now? Other half later? It's like, you get the $50 once the job is complete. Like, oh, okay. How long is this going to take? Oh, not that long at all. I mean, maybe like 2 hours tops. We'll be in and out. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So we go there it was some rundown, raggedy-ass neighborhood in Northeast Washington. I can't remember exactly. I want to say it was definitely off Rhode Island Avenue. This was some years ago. I was probably 22, 23 around that time. So we get to this house. We're doing our thing. The guys that were supposed to help us, long story short, they weren't helping us. And what we were emptying out was this basement, this basement apartment that was massively huge. And this fucking joint had so many relics. The motherfucker must have moved into that joint in 1950 because this person was a hoarder. There was so much shit. I mean, it was 6 feet high of just, and it's like, wait a minute. They said a couple of hours. All right. So when I hear a couple, I hear 2, 3. Okay. 4's pushing it. Mm-hmm. You expect us
to clean out that basement?
Right.
For $50?
For $50. Yeah, nah, homie, you gonna miss me with that. Not today. And I remember after about an hour, my friend was like, Lee, yo, this is a straight up hustle, dog. I'm like, yeah.
I'm sitting here listening to the story and thinking, yeah, y'all got conned.
Yeah. And we took our gloves off and we just threw it down. And the guy was like, hey, where you guys going? We're like, yeah, we got plenty more work that we need to do here. I'm like, well, you can do it. Like, we ain't no fools. Like, you ain't gonna be killing us, over crap pay. Like, you need more manpower. It's like, and this, nah. Well, if that's how you guys are gonna do, y'all ain't gonna get paid. Like, all right, we good.
Yeah.
He's like, we'll be all right. Like, we gonna get our money one way or another. Like, we gonna be all right. Like, y'all the ones that's hurting, cause y'all the ones that's gonna be here all night cleaning that, not us. Peace. Mm-hmm. We said it to him just like that. Roll the fuck out. My boy was like, you want to go to McDonald's? Like, yeah, let's go ahead. Ate at McDonald's, and that was the end of that.
Worked up an appetite.
Yeah, we did. We were sweating. We were sweating like pigs, man. We were sweating. We clocked out after 2 hours. It was ridiculous. I mean, we were coming across roaches.
Rats.
We were definitely coming across rats. Mm-hmm. It was very diseased. I remember at one point, my shoe had came this close. I actually went through a nail. And man, if it would have been just a couple of centimeters to the left, that would have been my fucking toe. That would have been somewhere between my big toe and the next toe. That would have been one of those joints, and I would have had to go to the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Get some shots.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I would not have liked that because definitely one of them was going to go in the ass, right?
Oh, a tetanus shot?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No. I'd have felt like Archie Bunker. And wait a minute. You want you looking all back there? I don't even like my wife going back there. Like, fuck that shit, man. That for me was just so unless you're really desperate, don't. If it sounds too good to be true,
it probably is.
Mm-hmm. Right? See, this is the Lord. This is how they do it. Become an election worker. Make up to $2,000, and you're going, whoa, wait, what? Mm-hmm. And then when you go in and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, let's, oh, shit. But then somehow, you're able to find the actual pricing for the positions. In my case, they had this buried. It was buried, but I was able to find it on their site. But they had it buried. I'm like, oh, no. And then I was able to confirm. I'm like, no. It's like, no wonder you got this buried, right? Because y'all know what time it is, right? You trying to hit a motherfucker. You're doing it for the good of your country. When your country needs you the most, you are representing. You're stepping up to the plate. You are taking on a great responsibility that no one else can fathom. And for that, your country thanks you. Your state thanks you. Your city thanks you. Your county thanks you. Yeah. You really want to thank me? Put an extra couple of zeros in there. That's how you can thank me.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you can fucking thank me. Let's call it 2 hours, 4 minutes exactly. You guys got a little bit of a bonus joint because we were supposed to wrap this up around the hour 30 mark, but we went an extra little bit of OT for you guys. So shout out to all the sponsors. Everybody knows who they are. Okay. If you guys are going to be listening to this for on demand on the downloads, you already know some of the folks already. You read the episode description. You already know about some of them, but do represent. Check them out. A little bit of something for everybody. I even do business with some of these guys. There's one company I'm trying to do some business with because I need some CBD gummies. I need some THC gummies, all that good shit because my anxiety and I'm pretty wired these days. So I don't know what's going on. Nothing bad, but I'm just pretty wired these days. But shout out to all the sponsors. Represent. Check them out. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/the RCWR show. Like I said, we already got 12,000 subs, 12,000 plus subs. Let's keep it rocking, keep it rolling. Journey to the 13,000. I know NXT did their Great American Bash themed edition. I will talk about that on Wednesday's show. I'll be live with you guys. I won't be in Discord, but I will be live on the other outlets. So when Dynamite goes off, just, you follow me on social media and all that, or just hop on the YouTube and we'll talk some Dynamite. We'll definitely talk some NXT, Great American Bash, talk some wrestling headlines, all that good stuff. Be kind, rewind, check out previous episodes you might have missed on demand and on downloads, wherever you get your podcasts. She's the beautiful and the lovely Tammy. Lee Sanders here, wishing all of y'all to be safe and most importantly, be kind to one another. And we'll see you next go around. Ta-ta, y'all.